So the weather didn't exactly cooperate today, but it's not too bad. So I have tuned on this quite a bit, and with dummy rounds it works 9 times out of 10. I don't know how recoil is going to affect it. For quite a few years, I believe that flat, it's nothing more than a flat piece of steel, is the follower. It's not sculpted anyway. It was slightly concave, and now I made it flat, but then I made it slightly convex. But I also, that tab at the front of it, I've adjusted on that a little bit because that limits how far the follower can come up. And that piece of metal they added to act as a shell interrupter, I don't know if I've got enough, if I adjusted it enough that recoil will not affect it. It's kind of important that the spent shell coming out does not move out too quickly, because that deflector piece and the shell hopping up from the magazine kind of rely on that spent shell casing still being in the way a little bit for it to not come flinging up out of there. I mean, you know, because if you try to just put a shell in there and then rip the bolt back, you can eject your unspent shell pretty quickly. So we'll see how it goes here. I like to pre-lube my bore because I don't know how long my ammo is going to sit around. So I just pre-lube the bore, and then I have my moose milk there, and I'll hit it every so often as needed. So the first one here, I'm just going to shoot off over here into this embankment with the gun out, because we got to first see if this thing looks safe to shoot. Seems like it is, but I want to give it a chance here. Oh yeah, that looks nice. That opened up nice. Everything went nice. Little bit of, look at this. A little bit of, and I did swage on these primer pockets, but there's a little bit of black powder leakage. I can't tell. That might be, yeah, it looks like it punctured the primer with the firing pin. So really what needs to be done is the primer, or the firing pin protrusion distance looks to be a little bit too long. That probably got to be adjusted out of it. That well shot up paper target's 20 yards away. I'll do one more here because I think it's probably safe enough, but I don't want to do too many until I can get that primer pocket thing checked out. See how this one looks. That one punctured too, so that's not ideal. Not ideal. Could be the Chadot primers. They're softer than regulars. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? So I'm going to try and, I know I said I'd only do one more, but I want to see if the feed works and how it's affected by recoil. Oh, sweet. That worked like it was supposed to. So it has potential, but until I figure out if I need a harder primer or harder, not hotter, it's a little bit too much. I need a spray there. Come on, out of the way. CLP. That'll be good enough for now until I can take it apart and degoob it. But yeah, I want to get that firing pin figured out, because that, I mean, it's not making any bigger hole than like the touch hole in a muzzle loader, but that does mean that there's gases coming back into the bolt. Probably off screen the whole time. Gas is coming back into the bolt. There are pressure relief on Mausers. There's pressure relief for exploded cartridges and things like that, and that dumps it all down in the magazine. It's obviously not enough pressure, because typically when it dumped it in the magazine, they would kind of blow out the magazine instead of blowing up the person, right? So since that maybe didn't end up on camera, let me try and do this again. And now probably it won't function flawlessly, and I'll get to where I believe I'm on camera. Put that forward. That's how it's supposed to work. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. Again, hit it with some loose metal. It doesn't hurt to get it everywhere. The best stuff. For the newbies, this is going to get cleaned up later. This is just disinfecting it a little bit out here in the field. All right. Now, if it was a nice hot day, that water would evaporate out and leave that little bit of oil laying behind, which is exactly how moose milk is supposed to work, and it's beautiful. You don't end up with anything being rusted. Puncture, 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 puncture. Do a couple more here. See if the golden pheasant hop up right. Looks like it was supposed to. Black powder and more. And last couple here are some tundras. See how these do. So far, it's cycled. You know, now I'm talking it up. It's going to stop, right? I realized the reason I shot these last is I realized for most of the video I was zoomed up on the target, and so you guys were not getting to see all this glorious moose milk. I don't think you were. I haven't reviewed the video. Maybe you did get to see it. So, like I said, I just hit it with this, and that, you know, pretty much CLPs it until it gets home and gets properly cleaned. So I think it's a shooter, but I got to figure out the firing pin issue because every single one punctured. Whether it's just thin shotgun style primers or whatnot. I know like the brass shell cases, they use like rifle primers, which are much thicker, higher pressure type primers. Yeah, puncture. So, and puncture. So all of them have punctured. All right. It's a little hard to tell because this thing was so peppered from the other day, and I had forgot to throw in an extra target. But those were all hitting high because this stuff all was in 6 and 7 the other day, and then these bigger number 4.5 holes, kind of from here to here. The thing has, best I can figure, a full choke. It measures at the end like 0.700 almost exactly. It's not quite round though. One direction is like 0.6995 and the other way it's like 0.700. So I'd call that full-ish. Anyway, windage was good. It's just high.